Good morning. Welcome to day 33 of Project Dig. I hope you guys are having a good one. Hey, Jeremy. Welcome. For anyone new to Project Dig is a 2D multiplayer automation survival sandbox game that I'm developing entirely here on Twitch and uploading the VODs to YouTube. We are making our way through the UI. And we've made some good progress. We have some stuff to show. Here's our little test UI here. We can see we have some an icon, an animated image, and a window being displayed with text, and also debug rendering. It's going good. Yeah, it's going good. It's going good, but there's still much more to do. Hey, yo, girl, what's up? So, yeah, we're just going to continue working on that today, see how much progress we can make. No, it doesn't look like much, but I like what you're doing here. I have no art skills at all. That despite being a 3D programmer nerd. Yeah. Hey. I don't have like any art skills whatsoever either. Glad you are enjoying what I'm working on here. So yeah, the UI, it's going good. We're just porting it over from the Crea engine and trying to clean things up. And today we are going to be working on a few new UI elements. Panel, stat bar, and text button, I think, are the three that we'll be focusing on. Hopefully we make it through those and we can move on to more. I think these are some simpler ones, so we might actually be able to achieve that. We will see. We will see indeed. So let's go ahead and just like start with, well, let me actually start with, okay, we did commit the things. That's good. So let's add some new files in here. So we'll do panel. Text button. I wonder if I really should call it a text button. Maybe I'll just call it a button. Cause I don't think I have. Yeah. We'll just call it a button. I think that's fine. And then how about the stat bar? Do I want to keep calling it that? Should I just call it a bar? So the stat bar is like, originally it was for your health. You know, so you'd have, it's like, it's a bar that has a meter that fills up and, you know, it changes. So it has some stat, like a percentage, that is representing. And it's used for many other things now. Well, in Korea, I ended up using it for many other things beyond just stats. I don't think that. I guess it would just be a progress bar, right? Like, that's pretty much what it is. But I don't know if I really like the name progress bar. I don't know. I guess we'll go with stat bar for now. I could just call it a bar. I was also thinking info bar. Or a percent bar. I think I'm just gonna call it a bar. It's a UI bar. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll add in the CPP files for these. So we have panel. Content and bar. Okay. We'll start with we'll do one by one. I just wanted to get those files out of the way. So we'll start with panel. So what I'm gonna do is just copy and paste and fix everything up. Since I think that's okay. UI element group. So it's in CGUI namespace. This is a panel. So a panel is it's kind of like an element group. So an element group is just a group of elements. Elements that are relative to each other. And a panel is a group with a background. That's like the only difference. So this is an element ID for the name, I believe. I think I'll call it ID. And then the size is optional. If you don't specify the size, it will auto size to whatever is moused over. This is the mouse position. What if I actually need that still? Because I think I could just say it's solid, right? I might not need this anymore. We have our draw function for void. Draw. It will figure it out in a bit. At some point in the future. Resize. I think all of these are actually overrides, which is something I didn't do in Crea, but I should have. Which just says, hey, this should be overriding something. There we go. Override. Protected. So now this is a resource element attribute. Fill background. Repeat sides, data, vertices. This is our vertex array. We don't need these to be mutable anymore. So what this does, geometry need update. I think I'm gonna just call it vertices need update. This is basically if something changes, then it decides that it needs to recalculate the vertices. Okay, so that's it for the panel. Right, incomplete type, not allowed. Oh, I guess actually I do need to include vertex array here. Argument list. Oh, that's right. I have to say this is resource texture. There we go. Looks good. Yeah, the panel is pretty simple. We'll go to the CPP file now. And we'll start implementing that. UI panel. But yeah, this is overall coming together quite well, I think. We've made some really good progress on it. We don't need that. There's our constructor, setup attributes. So we'll work on that. It just says moused over. I see. That's, I guess, like a optimized version. Fill background. Repeat sides. Vertices need update. Okay, so what this is doing, I'll go ahead and explain this. Setup attributes, this is just saying, hey, we need to set up our various UI attributes, such as the texture, fill, background, repeat sides, and that's coming from our style sheet system. So we're like, hey, given our style sheet, what's all set up in the background, figure out what our texture should be, what our image should be, what should the fill background or repeat sides be set to for this element. And then update styles whenever something changes, like let's say you mouse over something or whatever, the state changes, we need to recalculate the styling. It goes through and updates everything, making sure that it's all up to date. If anything changes, then we say that it's dirty and it needs to be updated. And I believe this is moused over. All it's doing is just skipping the element group. It says don't call the element group, it's moused over, call the element is moused over. I believe all that does is, yeah, it just checks to see if the area contains this mouse position. Whoops. Let's replace all of these in here. Still finding those. I wonder if that's the case for the header file as well. Probably, yep. Okay. So yeah, we can look at what the element group is moused over does. It says if it contains it and it's solid, then return true. That's one thing I'm thinking, what if I just do that? Because then this is pretty much the same thing. I suppose it has an extra check in here. Yeah. I don't know, maybe this is okay. It's something to consider doing instead. There's like two solutions for that. Resize, and then we have a draw function. So what this says, if it's being resized and the width is different, the width or the height is different, then we actually will resize it. We say that the vertices need to be resized at that point, or need to be updated, and we say dirty. And I kind of wonder if we should just handle that right there immediately during the resize. I don't know. There might be a reason. Oh, that's why. It's because it might be resizing multiple times. And so what we're doing is we are delaying updating the vertices until we are actually going to be drawing it, because yeah, we might like, you know, resize 3 times, or this might get updated depending, you know, especially early on, it's shifting things around. And if we're recalculating the vertices over and over and over again, it's just kind of a lot of wasted effort. So what we do is we delay it until we are actually rendering. Maybe I need to add a clear. Maybe I will do that. So it sets the, okay. Yeah, what I can do in here is set the texture on the vertices. So I think I'll say it starts off false. Whoops. And if we have changed it, we'll set the texture. Get resource on our vertices. And then we want to say it's 30. Yeah, that seems good. So then we don't have to do this. I don't think we need to do any of that. We just say, hey, we have this, not the target, it's the render, draw, vertices. But we do need to call this render element offset layer. This is actually a good question. Yeah, this makes sense. We can do it like this. Render, draw, vertices. I think. Oh, I see. We need to include our render system here. That will fix that. But also, I believe we need to provide the offset. I'm trying to think if I believe I need to do offset plus the area. Or maybe I should do it the other way around. Area plus the offset. Oh yeah, that doesn't work. It has to be in that specific order. Because it's a vector being, or it's kind of like a pixel rect is being added to the vector. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. There's probably a better way to do this. Always unsure. Okay, so anyways. Let's add in a clear function. It'll be very simple. Inline void clear. Doesn't take any arguments. All it does is say do vertices clear. That's it. Yep, very easy. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it for a panel. Let's see if we can find an example panel. We have to have it somewhere, right? Panel list item. Aha, list item. That's the image rect. I didn't see an image rect in here. That's not quite right. It was image, which should just default to our window. What were the other? Fill background and repeat sides. Fill background. Defaults to true. Excuse me. Repeat sides. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's data. Oh, there we go. That's what I was really looking for. Okay, so let's add in these to our UI manager. Our little crappy style sheet that I'm putting together. Okay, so this is going to be the fill background, which defaults to true. We also have another one, which is the repeat sides. I don't know what that is. Repeat sides. That defaults to true as well. Okay, and then we have one more. It's kind of like border data. It's very similar to border data, but this is just called data. Here we go. Looks good. Oh, whoops. There we go. That should do it. So now we need to add in a panel. And add in a panel to our section. Maybe we'll do it right here. So we'll say sections, one, associate our new element, new panel, and we'll call it item, list item, just for fun. HS and the size. Let's actually give it a fixed size. We'll say it's one, or let's say 60. Hey Summit, how's it going? 60/30. I think that's right. We'll say this is panel pointer panel. So then we can say we want to add this panel here. And then I believe the last thing we need to do is do a sections one associate, or not associate, add this panel. So I need to now do an include UI panel. sections. I guess I have to do it like this. Yeah, it's not super useful in here. I'm doing good. Kind of tired again, as usual, but yeah. Besides that, good. Got a late start to the day. Watched Kaylee. Well, kind of. I woke up at like 6:45 or something. Watched Kaylee for 2 hours while Kelly had fun at the DMV. What does the HS mean? It means it's a hashed string. So it hashes the string at compile time and returns a hash string. So this is a string literal. The underscore HS. Okay, so if we did this right, we should have oh yeah. I always forget this. We should have our panel working and it will have a little background around it. And whenever we mouse over it, yeah, so it's not quite working. Whoops. Pressed escape on accident. Let's move this. Let's do a padding 10 as well. Oh wait. That's when we add it. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's something I learned how to do just recently, the string literals and everything. Oh wait, it is working. Okay, I couldn't see it, but yay, it's working. That's awesome. Does not change what it looks like when we mouse over it, which is unfortunate. But yeah, you can see that this is indeed working. We have our nice little border around it. But it should actually, oh, I know why it's not working, duh. Because we don't have anything specified for that. If I do the highlighted, I think it can then work. So let's try that. We haven't actually tested anything like this yet, so we might do a little bug fixing here. So this is a style map. The first time we're adding in something like highlighted. So I'm trying to think here, what's the best way to try to test this? I'm thinking maybe putting a breakpoint here and to see if it hits that. Nice, it does. Should be changing this. Values. So this is wrong. Date is 2. Wait. Hold up. What did I call it? So default is here, list item highlighted. Yeah, I think I need to put a breakpoint in here. We might need to check the parsing and see if the style sheet's parsing that correctly. So it says there's only one available here. So the states, yeah, it has one state, which is, this is the, oh, that's the element. We don't care about that. This is the state class. So the state is 2. Is that highlighted? That might be highlighted. And priority is 11. Let's look at this. We go into here, we say, is it valid? State. Let's go into here. The state is equal to 2. 1 is visible. So let's look at what our current state is. It's 1. So this might be a problem. Okay, let's go. Let's see if it's actually highlighting properly. We are saying that it should be highlighted. That's what's calling the update style. So that all seems right, but it's when it gets to here. Oh, so this is the problem. This is saying if it's equal to it. But why does it say the state is now 1? Whereas up here, we've set it to 3. So this is a different element. Wait, which element is what? This is our section. I see. I think I see what the problem is. It was triggering earlier than I was thinking, but what we need to actually say is if the state. So we just need to check to see if that bit is set whatsoever. The class, that's okay. Yeah, I think this might fix it. Because I changed this state to be a bit field instead of... Hey, look at that. It's working for the most part, but it is being a little weird, huh? I don't completely get that. I think it's the fill data is wrong. The fill background, I mean. But besides that, it's working. That's cool. That is very cool. Yeah, my guess is that this is something to do with the fill background. That it seems to be off by a little bit. But it also seems like we just don't need it in this case. So that's an element.cpp. Fill background, fill background. I should change this to be fill background, repeat, sides, fill background. Background offset.y. That must be the problem. If we look at this background offset, yeah, this has to be it. Let's see what this says. What we'll do is we'll set a breakpoint right here. So, what's going on, guys? Friday. Anyone have any plans for the weekend? Like I said, I have my friend coming to visit soon. And I need to fix all these. Top right, middle left. Yeah, my friend will be here tomorrow afternoon. Might stream early tomorrow. I probably will try streaming early tomorrow. Okay, I believe that's all of them. Then we need to go to here and let's rename all of these. So yeah, I made the decision to underscore instead of camel case, and copying and pasting kind of sucks because of that, because I did camel case in Crea. But it's okay. It's not too hard to change. Find and replace makes it pretty easy. Getting drunk like always, nice. That's how I get through life. No, not really. I actually don't drink at all. Okay, so I think that's it. Now what's going on here? Lesson plans and working on my game. Nice. Yeah, you got some planning to do, huh? Getting ready for your new teaching job. Okay, let's try that now. For a while, I kind of felt like a teacher. Like at the first like week or two of this starting projectDIG, I was having to do so much research. I felt like I was putting together a lesson plan every night. I'm like, okay, what are we working on tomorrow? I need to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Excuse me. Okay, I wanted to break into here. This is 4-4. So I want to see if that is what's offset here. Oops. That's what it kind of looks like. Print screen. I think so. I think it's, oops. Oh, whoops. over 1. Yeah, that's 4, 4. So I think my problem is that really, I'm kind of surprised I never noticed this before. First class will be 24 weeks and I'm covering 4 languages. Dang. What languages? So that's 6 weeks of language. That's some dense stuff. Okay, so I think this should have been 0, 0, or we can just say empty. Bash, Ruby, PHP, and JavaScript. Wow. In that order. Oh, I don't think I restarted. Surprised I don't notice it here. Oh, it's probably just because it looks a little weird. Maybe that's right. I'll look at that. Going to remove this padding. Maybe I'll just do like 2 on each side. Let's do 5. And maybe we can just make it so that this is automatically sized. Let's try that. Okay, that did not seem to work. Let me make a larger padding. This might be not working right. One of those two. Yeah, that's not working right. It's not resizing properly. Based off of its children. Okay. Let's set a breakpoint in here and look at that. I think I don't remember exactly where it's at. I don't think I need to call like auto resize. Should have jumped into it. There we go. Padding. Padding is 10, so that's all right. Alignment. I say it's in top. Well, I think that's okay. So we add it. That's fine. Really, what we care about is layout here. We get the element area, which is 24, 24. Say the alignment, or width, which is currently 0. Blah, blah, blah. Wait, when do I resize? Relayout element, relayout. Do I ever call this? I do. What is this for? This is for our panel. Wait. Relative element is null. Layout element. Calls layout. Trying to figure out. What's that? Our padding should be 10, right? Yeah. Oh, I know what the problem is. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think I screwed things up. What I should be doing is whenever I create it, I don't even support that. I need to set the padding. I think that's my problem. Yeah. I was setting the pad. So this is the problem. The difference between margin and padding, and it's a little easy to get the two flipped around. There we go. See, that's right. That fixes it. Although, oh yeah, that's right. I need to fix that too. That our background is just off. Oh, I think I might know why it's off. Yeah, actually, I should have it before 4. I know what the problem is. Okay. Okay. We got this figured out. So the problem with this is that we say it's the area height and width, which is technically wrong. This should be the area height or the area width minus the data background offset x times 2. And same with the height, which is the y. Because it's supposed to be inside. But really, what we should do is probably just turn this off. Something like go into here and say, hey, let's not fill the background for our list item. And this should probably still be for 4. And also, I think I will make this be 5 padding instead of 10. It looks like it's a little off now. Right? Going on there. Did I think they're in the wrong order again. Maybe? Didn't I move it though? Why is it doing that? It shouldn't be filling the background anymore. Okay, let's take a look at our panel once more. So I'm kind of low energy today. I realized that. Good news is that I have a new bed mattress coming, And I ordered some glasses, those like orange tinted glasses or amber glasses. So that should help. And I'm not drinking coffee for a few days, which may not be good initially, but I think will, in the long run, help out. Which one did I go with? Purple. It was recommended by Mr. Pound Sign. Hey, Cooler, what's up? How's it going? Not add include. Wait, what do I want? Breakpoint. Step into. That's what I wanted. Step into create. Purple is great. Let me disable that Dropbox. So fill background should be false, so it won't be doing that anymore. Oh, maybe that's why it looks all weird. Maybe repeat sides. Perhaps. Okay, let's try that. Let's try adding in the repeat sides now and see if that fixes it. Maybe we did want to do that. Well, not repeat sides, sorry. Fill background. You don't need the glasses? Yeah, well, Hey, that fixed it. Cool. Nice. Looks good. Awesome. A red tinted screen. So I'll only be wearing it in the evenings. But I think I mean, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I think it might be easier for me to just like know like, hey, I need to have the glasses on. Like that's easy. Also, I use my laptop and my desktop in the evenings, or maybe I watch like TV or something. And while it might not be for the best entertainment to be wearing those glasses, it will help me sleep better, and I feel like that's really important to me right now. Okay, cool. So we got that all working. Our panel is working nicely. I'm happy with that. So let's go ahead and commit that. We're just making these incremental commits. I actually want to commit this stuff kind of separate. I like breaking things up into smaller pieces. So this is fixed fix some name, variable names, and what was that? The background positioning. The fill background positioning. Hey, Jay Cummins, how's it going, man? Okay, and then here I just want to say support to clear vertex array. There's a small little change. And then this is fix checking state on an element. Okay, then we can commit our panel. Cool. Looks good. It's going all right for me. Yeah, just I was once again lamenting over being tired, but besides that, I'm good. All right, so we got our panel done. Let's work on adding in bar or button. Bar or button. Which one should we do? I guess we could do a text button. It's pretty useful. Definitely the more useful out of the two. This one is maybe a little bit more complex. Okay, we'll work up in complexity. So let's add this in. Getting quite a bit of code here, huh? So we're calling this just a button now. Attribute state. I think that's supposed to be a unit 8 T now. Get text. Set text. Kind of surprised this doesn't inherit from a label. So button, I'm sure you guys know what that does. It's something that you can click on, and so that means we need to be able to support like, hovering over it. SDL event. Parent hidden. Mouse leave. When there needs to be a callback, I think, or I guess that happens automatically. That's right. Well, kind of. So these are resource element attributes now. Resource texture. This one's a font. We need to include color here. Get attribute state. Does that not have a get attribute state? Get attribute. Nope, I guess not. Okay, so there's no override here. Vertex array. Text. is pressed. Yes, and then we have to fix all these. So why did I not make this be part of a label? I should look at that. There might be a reason for it, or maybe I just didn't really consider it before. Hey, it's Coder's Life. What's up? How hard is it to start learning OpenGL now with all the math with it? I really can't say. I mean, I think it depends on what you're doing, but I honestly kind of avoid doing OpenGL just because I want to make games. I don't want to make it like, yeah, sometimes you have to choose which battles you fight. And I have chosen to not do like lower level rendering stuff because I want to focus on a game a little bit more than that. So I'm using BGFX. I can't really speak to how easy or difficult it is to do OpenGL because I know a tiny bit of it, but not much, to be honest. Hey, Drek Ryan, what's up? Welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay, yeah. So we'll include our UI button here. Yeah, so actually, let's take a look at this. Maybe we can fix this up. So how are we doing things here versus our label? Let's look at this. What am I doing now? BGFX. I thought games aren't made with that OpenGL. Oh, there's plenty. Yeah, like I mean, so I'm using BGFX, which sits on top of the rendering backend. So you can see here. So there's OpenGL. There's lots of flavors of OpenGL, including the web stuff. And then there's Metal, which is on Mac. There's DirectX stuff, or Direct3D, which is Windows specific. And there's Vulkan that's being worked on. Well, Vulkan is a thing, but Vulkan is being added to BGFX, as Drekryan said. So yeah, there's lots of alternatives. You don't have to learn OpenGL. Like if you go with BGFX, then you kind of sit on top of that stuff, and you still have to deal with it, kind of, but not entirely. But there's also things like SFML, which sits only on top of OpenGL, but it like simplifies all of it. You don't deal with any of that stuff. So there's definitely lots of alternatives. You don't have to work with OpenGL low-level stuff if you don't want to. Okay, let's work on this. Oh, actually, that's right. I wanted to look at our label and see what we're doing here. That's right, disable the font stuff. Update the styling. I'm just wondering, like, how is this different? Set text. I guess it is quite a bit different. There are absolutely some similarities here, but I guess it's different enough that it makes sense that we don't just like try to reuse it. Okay, fine. So let's try to pull what we can in. I'm gonna have to change a bunch of stuff in here. Oops. Okay. Font size, font color, font outline color, font shadow color, text offset. Oops. Fun. Okay. So that calls that. We need to say this is an element ID. String. Vertices. We don't need to set that up. This is pressed, which we can actually just put in here now. Font size is 0. Font outline 0. String set to the local text. Right now we're not doing that. String text value text. So we can for now just do that. In the future we probably will end up doing some type of localization there or something. I like that. I think that was quite useful. Wait, there is a get attribute state? Why did I not see that in here? It's not showing up. Get state. Did I like skip that? Where's the state stuff? Oh, I completely did. Huh. Wait, why is that? Oh, I see. It's because this weird highlighted thing. So I just need get state. I see. So what was going on here? It said if it's pressed, so kind of override pressed over everything else. I don't know if I like that. Yeah. It's pressed. So I think what I'd prefer to do is just set the state now. Set that. Like here we say it's true. Yeah. Handle event on mouse leave. Yeah. Let's do it that way. That's going to be much better. So we don't need the pressed anymore. We'll store that state within the state on the element. We have support for that now, or better support. All right. Yeah, I agree, Drake Ryan. It seems pretty nice. I'm really interested if like anyone has done any support for like, you know, the Switch or just consoles in general. I guess like Xbox One probably has something for DirectX, like it's probably DirectX 11 or whatever. I don't know exactly, or it's close to it. And then I think PlayStation is pretty similar to OpenGL. I might be wrong on this. Okay, so we got rid of that. So we'll pull this over and work on that. Update style. Let's rename the dirty to dirty. I'll just say this dirty. Yeah, I don't know what Switch is, but yeah, I'm curious. It's not a big deal though. Set font. I think I just want dot font is equal to the font. Get resource, right? Pretty easy. Font size. Set character size. This is just size is equal to that. Yeah, a lot of these are much simpler. Font color. This color is equal to the font color value. We don't have any concept of outline set. Yeah, we just don't have an outline thing. So we'll comment that out. Whoops. Same with this font outline color. Outline color, we again don't have support for that yet. And the font outline has a value. I think I forgot to set that there. Font shadow color. Shadow color. Again, we don't have support for that. I don't know what I'm going to do for that yet. But yeah, I think actually we'll just comment all of that out for now. Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, by the time this game is ready to be released on consoles, we're going to be at the next console generation. PlayStation 5 was already announced and is probably coming out. My guess is it's going to be here. It might be here this fall, like this holiday season. If not this one, it's probably most likely the next one, so 2020. Switch uses NVN, which is similar to Vulkan. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I didn't know. Change size. Oh, wait. Size changed, that's what it is. Changed. So what is this all about? So this is a float rect, which is just a rect. Text bound, wait. Oh, offset. It's a pixel vector, yeah. Wow, that is quite long. Jeez, I think we might be able to simplify some of it. Let's see here. This is an int. The text offset dot y. Character size. That's fortunately the size. The bounds. The bounds. Oh, this is where we need to do that. Figure out how big it is. That's right. So we have support for that now. We have the get dimensions, which is a pixel vector. Awesome. And so that's a pixel vector dimensions. Text size, maybe I'll call text size dot x, text size dot y. Go quite long. Oh, that's x. That's y. Oh wait. Oh yeah, that's some weirdness. I don't know about this yet. I need to look at that. I need to really dig into that actually. We might need to be returning a bounds instead. I'm not sure how that would work though. Resize. So the area doesn't have a resize. Set size. Okay, it's set size now. We need to include the render system, which should include the font stuff. Okay, so this is good. We might have problems with this. This is actually wrong technically, right? That's right. Wait, do I bounds? So it's this right here, this bounds.top. This is wrong. I need to look into that. So that's like trying to move it down. And I think that's wrong. I'm not sure how so though. Okay. So let's add in some more. Handle event, parent hidden. Hey, Mr. Poundstein, what's going on, man? Greetings. You are WoW player, right? Or were? I don't know if you still are. Font value. I think this can be a const ref. I'm good. Super tired still. WoW Classic. What are your thoughts? No, I will not be playing vanilla. Oh, okay. Fair enough. You knew what I was going to ask. Oh, we don't need this right now. This localized text is this text. Oh, this is this value is equal to the text. We're all out of rose pigment here. Sadness. Okay, so this is pretty much doing the same thing that we did up here, right? I'm kind of tempted to refactor that code. It's like, I think it's literally the same code. Minus the few things that are mixed in with it that are for updating, like that stuff doesn't need to be updated, but I think the rest of this, any of the dirty stuff doesn't belong. Set position. Isn't that what we do right here? Wait, hold up. If it's size is not equal to, we call resize, which is set size now. Size changed. So it just always does this. And then we say if size changed, we need to update that. Okay. And oh yeah, we do call dirty. So that's for setting the text. Let's pull in the rest of this stuff. Yeah, that just all needs to change, huh? Yeah, we pretty much need to rewrite all of that. So we can look at what we did in game. We handle that where we press it down. That's what we're doing here. So this is handling the event. If it's enabled, then we say, hey, if you, we should probably first check. Well, I guess this is probably cheaper. The mouse is down and you pressed it and the area contains the mouse button, then what we're going to do is say state. Oh wait, I think it's set state. The state with the, what is it? Element, state, element, pressed. That should do it, and then we call update style. If it is pressed, which is get state, or we can just say state. And the pressed, and it's a mouse button release event. So released, mouse button up, then we want to remove it. Right, I think that's it. Let's just XOR. Just tweeted, large online communities that actually do things are all but dead. Wild Classic won't bring them back. The best thing about Classic was the guilds. I just don't see it happening in 2019. But I'll be delighted if I'm wrong. Yeah, I know that feeling. Like, hoping that you're wrong about something. Pressed is false, so this is doing the same thing. So if our parent is hidden, then we need to just say, okay, well, we're no longer pressed anymore. Or if the mouse leaves, then it should no longer be pressed. Cool. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how WoW Classic does. It'll be interesting. What I'm really interested in is not just if WoW, like old WoW players go back and yeah, sorry, got distracted. Start thinking about things. Not just if WoW players go back, but if new players that never played WoW Classic or maybe never even played WoW go back and they're like, hey, I want to see what this game was like whenever it first was released, and if that like retains new players. Your wife starts sleeping with another guild member. What? Dang. I don't know what to say about that. She loved the guild a little more. Yeah. You should start sleeping with guild members, Jeremy. Duh, that was the obvious response. Show her that you love them more. Okay, so the texture needs to be updated, and I just realized what I need to do is say this is false, and then if this is updated, we need to do the same thing that we've done in other places, which is set the texture on our vertices. And then in here, I think all we just have to do is pretty much say render, draw our vertices. I think it needs to be area. Pixel vector is like position is area plus the offset. Oh, that's right. I have to say offset plus the area. I don't really like that. Position. And then wait, I also need to do render draw our text, and our text oh dang, I set the position on the text. That's not going to quite work anymore because maybe I need to do something similar. So the problem here is that we need to move the text to the correct position. So if we look at, so one possibility, which I guess I can do, is store this position like what I'm doing with our label. Where we have this reposition, and then at the end we set the position, like this. For the reposition's a little weird. Yeah, I'm inclined to do something like, yeah, I kind of don't like this. I don't know. I might. Yeah, I'm not sure. I might change this text position. So basically up here, change this to be an underscore. And then same with this up here, underscore. So then what we can do is say our text dot position should be equal to our text position plus the position. And so then it should be in the right place. Okay. I believe that's it. Oh wait, I need to include UI element .hpp as well as UI element attribute HPP. And then let's go to our UI element, our UI manager. Let's look for a button. Oh, it's text button. That's fine. Font color. Sure, we can do that. We'll pull this stuff over into here. The style map is getting quite hefty, huh? This is the color. What tech font color? We should have font color up here. Font color. Yeah, okay, cool. So I can just copy. We have 2, which is 11 across the board. Oh, actually we have 3, that's right. We have the default, we have highlighted, we have disabled. And so this is 11, 11, 11. $255. Highlighted is 32. And then disabled is the same. Whoops. The same as the normal, except that it's kind of transparent. Okay. Text offset is 0, which, okay. This is going to make the default be that for now. Image data. That's a lot. Is that all we have left? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, image data. I don't think I have that in here yet, do I? We have border data. Nope, okay. So we have this button here. Disabled, highlighted, and pressed. Fortunately, I can just do this and it magically works. Cool. Okay, so now we can continue to mess with our test window. Let's add the button to the header. So what we need to do for that is something kind of like this. We'll add it to the top. So we're going to say section 0, add relative, this new button. And I don't remember everything we need to have. I guess it's just those two. Okay. So we'll say this is the hello. Greetings. Let's put it on the left center, or just left is fine, I guess. Let's not or maybe we can have a padding of 0.005. Should do it. I think that's all we need to do. And then we can test it out and see what's broken. Oh, hey, look at that. First try! Nice! Looks good! It's legit! I like it. Greetings! You know, let's do one thing really quick here, which is go into our game.cpp. Where are you? There we are. Only 300 FPS, I know. Well, we are in debug mode, so there's that. Let's move this up to here. So that way if our UI consumes the mouse, like button clicks or something, then this is not going to continue to do things. And so then what I want to do is make it so, and we might already be doing this, go to our dialog, and whenever we click and grab the handle, we might be doing this already. Handle event, yeah, dragging, return true. Yeah, so what we should do is now it won't be creating unplayable on a 420 Hz monitor. Yeah, see, we won't create. I can click on this and it won't create those little puddings. So that's awesome. Whee! Okay, guys. Okay, come on, look at this. We'll run in release mode. Now we have to wait for it to compile. See what you guys did. I hope you're happy. Why is the compile time so long? No, I haven't compiled for a long time. It's only, I mean, it is kind of starting to get a little bad, but we have a lot of code. All those stupid templates. I blame my templates. I probably can go through and really look at everything. What's Goklock said? Say, yeah, I'll open that up. Bam. 1000 FPS. Oh, 1400. Is this what you guys wanted? That's pretty good frame rate, right? I mean, we're not really doing much, but still. We have a UI rendering and being animated. Looks like it's going really slow. Looks like it's going slower than it's supposed to. What video card do I have? Radeon 970, I believe. That's one of the best things about Go. The compile times are great. Yeah, that's one of the nice things about Jai is like John Blow is saying that you can compile like 100,000 lines of code in less than a second. Yeah, so I have a somewhat older GPU. It's not like super old, but it's kind of older, a few years. Okay, so we got that working. Let's do something. Yeah, I would love that compile time stuff. Sounds nice. Yeah. I don't know if I don't think I have. Where do you set it? I forget. It doesn't look like I'm rendering with multiple cores right now. Was not rendering. Compiling. I don't know. I'll look at it later. But that's one thing is like, I don't know. MSVC kind of sucks though with the compiling. I don't know how much better like VS 19 is versus other like 17 or 15. But I know on my MacBook, I can compile Crea from nothing in like 5 minutes, whereas on Windows, it takes like 15 to 20 minutes. So it's like 4 to 5 times slower than what I'm doing on Mac. I think I use GCC on Mac. I don't know. I wrote the makefile years ago and I don't remember. Okay, so maybe what we could now do is something like... Hmm? On action, on confirm. Is it on confirm? On deselect? I forget what. It's on activate. That's what it is. Bool UI. The bool for... Can't I just add a lambda in here? I don't know how to. I'm just glad you killed off boost. Yeah, me too. I mean, it's not necessary anymore. Remove STD, yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I didn't have all that stuff, like especially all the templating, compile times would be a lot faster. So I'm still new to lambdas. Return operator. Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking. So captures. Okay, captures params, return body. Ah, okay. But it can, I think it automatically determines the return or something. I don't know if we want to, maybe we can. No, we don't need to capture anything in here. So let's say this takes an element. Yeah, we can say it returns a bool. And then we could do something like, what do we want to do here? What if we actually capture our sections 0 element? Can we do that? With this section, push, oh, whoops. Okay, let's see if this works. So what we're doing here is we're saying, hey, whenever you click on this button, we want it to add a new key test image to the header. Oh, whoops, I need to return. I don't even know what this returns. Oh, that's right. It's supposed to be if we are using it or not, right? So whenever we invoke it, we say if it returns true, we want to keep it. If we return false, that means throw it away. Okay, so yeah, we want to return true. We could return false and then it would only work the first time we click it. Whoops. I forgot about that. That's funny. That's the... What is that? Relative element. Oh, whoops. Not that one. Add relative. Here we go. The padding. And then there's relative alignment. Yeah, I forgot about that. And then there's container alignment. There's like multiple alignments depending on what you want to do. Let's actually change this. Let's just add it to the bottom. And then let's also say element is disabled. Disable. So you can only do it once, and then we can return false. Bam. Pretty cool. Nice. That is cool. So that's all working nicely. Awesome. Let's do our stat bar now. Oh, I guess I should commit this, huh? Allow UI manager to consume events. Okay, so this is for our content. Oh yeah, we're going to look at the Go clock, right? Or Go clock. I like the Go clock. The Go clock. Okay. It's like a Glock. Oops. I got this one right though, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So this is added UI button. Clock.bat. Up to 7,000 lines of code. Not too bad for 1 month of work, right? Especially considering I didn't know what I was doing for a large part of that. Whoever named it Go Clock must have been drunk. Well, it's based off of the Glock, and then it's written in Glow. Go. Glow. So it's a Go Clock. Could have been called Clock Go. Lang. Yeah, I mean, we should just write a new language, compete with John Blow. We can call it Glow. I'm so tired, guys. It's dumb. I like slept fairly substantial amount last night, or at least I feel like I did. And I'm just like on the verge of crashing. I don't get it. I hope it's not indicative of something more systemic. My brother has a bunch of sleep problems. He has like narcolepsy and sleep apnea and whatnot. When is the mattress arriving? On Monday. Monday. Okay, so we're going to do our stat bar now. Before I get started with that, I'm going to grab some water. It's lupus. Thanks, Cash. I love the love. What kind of mattress? Purple. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just finished House a few times. A few months ago for the 5th time. House, that's a TV show, right? Hey, Sci-Fi, what's up? Welcome. Okay, so we are pulling over UI elements from the Crea game engine into Siege engine. And we are now looking at the stat bar, or what I'm now going to call it, bar. Okay, the lupus joke, gotcha. I did not know, yeah. I knew it was a TV show, that was all. House, that is. Okay, so we're just going to be pulling this over. Oh, whoops, we don't want the namespace. So this will just now be called bar. Bar. So now we have to do all this fun stuff of renaming things. Element ID. UN32T for the width. Float percentage. 0. Set up attributes. Override. Override. Get divisions. That's unique to this. I don't think we need to make that. Yeah, I don't know if we really need to say that this is virtuals. Oh no, these. Resize, that is override. Immediate is false. So we're just going through all this. So a stat bar again, or bar as we're now calling it, is something like, do I have, let me try, no I don't really. I mean, it looks like these, although they are typically stretched out. And so it'll be like representing your health or your stamina or your power in the case for projectDIG. You can also, be used for things like, progress on something, like if you're crafting an item, can show you progress. The foo bar. So it can be used for lots of things. Resize and 32T. Update. Mouse position and frame time. UN32T. So we're just updating things. Override. We don't have a render. We just have a draw. Oh, this is for the immediate, huh? Yeah, that's right. So I actually need to have, I need to do it this way. I changed this. So we have a draw function. That's not right. Sometimes if we keep poking it, it will eventually figure out that we want something else. We'll come back to that. So we need a vertex array for vertices, span data, that's all good. Create bar. So this is going to be a resource element attribute for our texture, resource texture. These are all of the different attributes that we're going to have. Background data, middle data, for data, division count, flip. Lots of vertex arrays here. I wonder if we really need all of these. Oh, I see what they are. Yeah, we probably do. UN32 list. Excuse me. Just had to sneeze there. Okay. So we need to include vertex array here. I love Visual Studio, yeah. This might actually be Visual Assist's fault. I'm not sure. Okay. So we have a draw and a draw immediate. It sounds like this is wrong. Oh, this needs to be a pixel vector, that's right. That's what's wrong. That's the nice thing about override, is it tells me stuff like that. Okay, cool. So that's our interface for the bar. So basically it's split up into several different sections. So if we go over here, we can see there's the background. So these are all the backgrounds. And then we have the middle ground, which is kind of like it's transitioning between the where it was at and where it's going to be. And so there's like a delay. So like, let's say, you know, if you get hit or whatever, like it shows that it's like there's the intent that it's going to move, or that it's kind of like delayed almost. Like the main bar will move immediately, but there's like a lag with the background where it shows it changing. I'm sure you guys have seen it, like if you know, Dark Souls or whatever, Crea, a lot of games do stuff like that. Makes it feel a little like juicier, like it lags a little bit, like it's trying to catch up, but yeah, I don't know. Int width. So that's what we need the different vertices for, the background, middle, and fore, and then there's the division count, which are these little guys right here. And that's just to indicate, like, if you want to partition it. So let's say that you have some progress bar, like an XP bar, and you know, you're going up to 100%, so you want to add divisions, like 10 divisions, so that way you can see, oh, it's an increment of 10%. So that way it's kind of easier to tell looking at it, like, okay, well, I'm 3.5 bars over, that means I'm at like 35% progress. That's what divisions are for. Catch up. Yep. That's right. Okay, let's UI bar namespace C GUI. This one's a big one. We'll pull over these three. Bar. You know, I have to admit, guys, I kind of miss listening to music. Kind of do. I know, it's surprising, right? Element, that looks good, and width. So we can actually set these defaults. So that should be 0, flip is false. These are 0. Percentage is 0, I guess. Ends with the 0. Flip is false. Oh, I guess we kind of need to keep that. Middle value. Whoops. Where is that at? There we go. Then why don't you? Because I want to keep these the VODs pure. Yeah, and if I listen to music, it would screw things up. I could, like, I know there's ways around it, like I could have headphones in, but it feels weird talking a lot with headphones, at least to me. Can you listen to royalty-free music? I could, but I don't know. It's like that's greatly limits what music I can listen to. It's like I guess part of it I miss listening to music while streaming, but a large part of it I miss listening to the music I like to listen to. Could you just not have the music play through stream? I tried to get that working. I couldn't. Yeah, and I was also kind of afraid that well, yeah, what I was trying to do is get it so it was on separate channels, which would be the best because then we could listen to music, and so music would be on one channel, my mic would be on another channel, and then whenever I could like quickly edit it just by like removing the music channel or muting it, and then I could add that to YouTube or something along those lines. But sadly, I don't know how to do that, and I've been so busy, I haven't had the time or like had the time motivation to invest in trying to figure that out. So instead, I'll just complain for like 5 to 10 minutes here on stream every once in a while, like maybe once a month or so. Can you mute the PC audio? I don't know. I don't have Streamlabs OBS. I have like standard OBS. I should probably look at the Streamlabs OBS though, or something. Okay, so let's go back to here now. I think we fixed that. Oh wait. Let's set target. Target. I don't set target to anything. We're able to set all of these to 0. Timer. Middle ground change time. I think we can just set everything to 0 to start with. So look at Streamlabs. I do use Streamlabs for other well, I used it. I don't really anymore. Oh, timer should be set to int 32 max. That should work, right? That's a define. Percentage is whatever the percentage is. Set to, so I guess I shouldn't do that. Okay, that looks good. Division count dot value. Set to 0. Yeah. What are we doing there? Yeah, okay, Samantha, I'll check it out. Try to remember too. Division count. Customizable element attribute. I'm trying to, I think the problem here is that I'm trying to set this value. I don't know what I'm doing here actually. Why is it trying to do this? Division count. Because I believe this is going to try to set the custom value, which is not what I want. I don't know. I'm going to comment that out. We'll come back to that. Well, maybe we'll get a better idea of what it's trying to do once I add in the rest of this stuff. Okay. So this is all going to be wrong because this needs to be underscore everything. Count. Time. Change. Background data. Let's rename that. Okay, just most of this is renaming variables. Fun stuff. Well, not really renaming, just fixing the naming scheme. Hey, Jacomus. I've been perusing over the code the last day or two, particularly the ECS part, and I can't figure out for the life of me what you use the UID part of the entity union for. That's to be able to compare entities, right? So I think probably the only place it's being used right now is in here. So there's a equal operator and a not equal operator that uses the UID to see, hey, are these two entities the same? I don't know if those are actually being used right now because we don't really have much code for. No, I think we use them for maybe like some key or something. I don't know. Yeah, but I don't think you set it anywhere. Set what? The UID? The UID is automatically set because this is a union. So we are setting the generation index and type, and the UID, since this is a union, the union is sharing, what that basically says is like, hey, all of the elements here share the same data. And so we have this, we have 32 bits here split between these three, and they occupy the same space as the UID. And so if we change the type, that's also changing the UID. If we change the generation, it's also changing the UID. Yeah. So we never set the UID directly. We never should. I don't think so. I mean, maybe whenever we're doing something like maybe stuff with network code or loading, maybe where we're like trying to set up a unit. I don't know if we'll ever do that. I don't know. Maybe with network we would. Where we're like, hey, there's this entity, it should have this UID. I don't know if we're going to do that though. I'm not sure. I haven't figured out how we're doing all the network stuff yet. I could see that being a way that we solve it though. Does that make sense? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I had to do some learning with all of that as well. I never really worked with unions before this project. Like, not really. I never written anything with unions before. I did, with SFML, they have their event system using unions. And that's like, I think the only time I've ever used unions. But like for that, you don't really even have to worry about it. You're just like, whatever, delayed. Yeah, no problem. So, okay, so what I just went through is updating all of these. I think we still have to do some stuff here. So this is our texture. I think what we need to do, let's do this. Let's say this is this. Rename dirty to dirty like I have been. And then we're going to also say false here. And then if the texture is updated, we need to update our all of the vertices textures, right? Which is just texture get resource. And what I might do in this case, well, let's do it this way. There's the middle vertices, it's equal to that, and then there's the 4 vertices, and equal to that, yeah. Oh, whoops. Dot texture. Okay, so we need to update the texture for all of those. Background change. Let's fix that. So this is just updating the styling for this bar. So it's like figuring out, let's see here, ends width. If the ends width is not equal to the ends width, as meaning the end has changed, we update it. And we also update like the target percentage and everything. I think in this case, it just resets it. So it kind of looks like division count. So if division count is updated, then what we do is we recalculate all the divisions where they belong. These are like the pixel units. So it's like, okay, let's, figure out exactly where each division line is going to be. Again, that's these little guys here. Background changed. If the background middle height is not equal to the area height, that means we need to update the area height and recreate the bar. I'm guessing when we call create bar, we say resize, or I don't know. Maybe we should be calling resize here. Change time. Okay. So that all looks good. We'll pull in some more. We'll just like do a few functions at a time. This one's really simple. We just say, here's how many divisions this thing has. Set divisions. This is if we want to customize it. This does pretty much what we do up here. Set custom. Let's rename this to division count. Lots of fun, exciting stuff going on here. Okay, so create bar. This is just actually telling it to create all the bars, which we'll be getting to kind of soon. I guess that's the last thing, actually. That's where it sets up all the vertices. So it's just telling it, hey, here's all the information you need to be able to create these bars. Like I said, it's setting up the vertices, which means that that's where it's actually figuring out like how it should be drawing it. Oops. 4 vertices. Okay, so that's that. Set, resize, update. I'll just grab 2 at a time. Float percentage. So this is setting the bar. We're like, hey, it's now at 20%, and it will figure out how it should be updated. So it says, like, okay, here's the target. So like percentage, the target is the percentage times the width times the, or minus the ends width. So it's basically like, hey, given, our unit, like let's say, it's, we're at 50% and the area is 200, but the ends width is 10 each, or I guess it's just 1. It only does 1. So I guess that's the ends width is both of them. So if let's say it's 20 is the ends width. So it'd be 200 minus 20 is 180, and the percentage is at 50%. then it would be at 90. The target is 90, and so that's basically saying, hey, we should have it so it's 90 pixels deep, or like into from the start. And we just make sure that it has changed. If it has changed, then we will update it. Say, okay, well, that's our middle and 4 value. Or if it's immediate, what we do is we set the 4 value and the middle value both. And so that's coming back to this, where it's like, if we're saying, hey, immediately change, we'll change both this one as well as the middle one. If it's not immediate, then what we want to do is have it so that the middle lags behind. So we will, and I'll show you. I think they both are a little, they both transition. But the middle one lags behind. Yeah. So we say if this is the 4 value, so if the target is greater than the 4 value, then the middle change time is equal to the change time, and the 4 change time is equal to the delayed change time. So I think it, like, depending on which way it's going, they will lag in different ways or be delayed. If it's highlighted, then show on tooltip. Oh, that's just is saying, hey, if this is highlighted, we need to update the percentage, right? I think that's what it's doing. Resize. So it's kind of doing the same thing. Kind of, where it has to update the like 4 value and the middle value. Because now we don't know exactly where it's at. But we don't need to change the the change time or whatever. That hasn't changed. And then we also have to update the divisions because those likely have moved. I think this is the same as this. Looks like it. Should be. Right? We update. Hold up. Actually, maybe I. Middle value, ends value, 4 value. Yeah, that looks all right. Okay. Yeah, a lot of this code is fortunately pretty easy to port over. It's not particularly dependent on anything else. Like it's, you know, for the most part standalone, so really like I'm just having to update these variable names. Lots of variable name changes. Okay, so this is when we are updating. So we need to update obviously because it needs to be animated. Okay. We're getting there. We are getting there. One variable at a time. What I should have done is added all these in and then just did a mass change instead of individually changing them. Something I considered doing. Okay, so what we're doing here is, let's see, we get the timer, we say, hey, if the timer is greater than or equal to the delayed change time, then that means that we have expired. We don't need to do anything else. Otherwise, we add the frame time. Oops, I guess I should rename that to frame time. Okay, weird. We add the frame time, and then we say, hey, if the frame time minus the frame time... Wait, why do we do it like this? I guess it's because I want this to have the updated frame time, but I have to do it one of those two ways. Or like store the previous frame or timer. Maybe I will do it like that, timer. Make it a little easier to read. Okay, so if the previous timer time was less than the middle change time, then what we want to do is update the middle value. Or the middle bar. And that's this one here. We're just moving it to the new position based off of the timer. So if it has hit 100%, then we're good. So yeah, we're just updating it from the previous time to the new time. And then do the same with the 4-1. It's actually really easy. Okay, and so then we have our render and the draw. That's really easy. So we have our bar draw function. So the draw function, all it needs to do is render, draw our background vertices. That's it. And we want to move it with our offset plus the area. And go ahead and include, we need the UI element, the HPP element attribute, and also our render system. Okay, so then for our draw immediate, so that's our background. That's if we're like caching it or something. So it's okay to draw it like, you know, this is the background. The background's never changing, but we do have some other things that are changing, you know, on a frame to frame basis. And so we really should not be storing that on a render texture. Instead, we want to just draw it immediately and have it be updated every frame. So what we just have to do is say render draw. I think I was flipping these around, so I actually need to do the 4 first, if I'm right. And then the middle. And that's it. HD void, what's up? And then the last thing we need to do is add in this beautiful beast. Yeah. Wait, which, okay, yeah. So it's all of this. Stat bar, create bar. Okay. That's right. So we can simplify a lot of this because I changed how the vertex is being set up. So we'll get to that. Just update those while I'm at this. So vertices dot append now takes a pixel rect area and the texture. Pixel rect area and then the texture rect. Oh, that's just going to be data.write. And so this is x, y, area.width. And wait, what's the y? This is area.y. Wait, this is a little weird. Oh, whoops. No, y is the bottom. This is area.y. I see. I missed that. I see. The y is the bottom. I don't know why we do that. Y is the bottom. Oh, actually, so we should just have it be area.height. Yeah. Area width. I think this might be wrong too. Because this should be the... Okay. Yeah. Is that right? Data write width. The area width minus the data write width. Oh, it's working backwards. I see. So that's all the way to the end. So what this is doing is if we have a bar, let's say something like this. It's basically taking this entire thing. It says, okay, take the width and then minus whatever the right side is. We want to subtract that, and that's where our x starts. And then the end position should actually be, yeah. So it should be the data write width is what this is using. Yeah. So that represents all four of those lines. The middle section is going to be, so what it says is the x minus the middle area. Middle width. Really wonder if that's like the best way to go about doing things. I'm not gonna change it right now. Okay, so that's where it starts. And area.y is where it starts, that's right. That, and then this should just be the middle width, right? The middle width is the width. Middle width. And let's go ahead and rename that to be middle underscore width. And then it's the area height. And this is data middle. What progress have we made today? We've made some good progress. I'll show you in just a minute. Let me finish this stuff. We added in a panel and a button. Left and area.x. Wait, why do I subtract it here? Why don't I just subtract it up here then? And then I can get rid of this. Right. So then where is this? It says it goes from area.x to x. This really, all it is, this should just be data.left width, right? This is the area height, this is left. Yeah, I think I made this like more complicated than it needed to be. Area width is equal to the area. Like, I think what I might do is just say this is minus the middle width. Then we don't need this. And x is equal to the width. So I was thinking I could get rid of that. And then we don't actually ever use y now, huh? So we could get rid of that. And x is the area width minus the... Like, we could just put that in there. We could also just say that this is... I'll leave it at that for now, I guess. Well, we can tweak it more later. So this is if we're flipping it. Oh, okay, that's why it's working backwards. That makes a little bit more sense, to be honest. It's like, I don't know why we're working from the right side, but okay. So this is x and area.y again, and the width is data.left.width, and then y is the height. Oh wait, no, it's the area height is the height, and this is data.left. For this x, wait, x hasn't changed. Why is it? Middle section. This seems like it might be wrong. Middle width. This is the middle. Not sure if this is right. How is it that it's starting from the same position? I feel like this is wrong. Shouldn't this be area.x? I think this is wrong. Let me go back to this. Yeah, okay, it's area.x to x. Ah, yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm like, that seems wrong. Okay, glad I caught that. I messed that up. That's right. So it starts at area.x. That's the starting position. We say that x is equal to the, and I honestly might just do this. the area.x plus the data left width. So we're just adding it on. And then that's kind of the same thing here. What we want to do. This is why I'm trying to phase out the x value because I don't know if we really need it. So this would just be plus the middle width. And then the actual width should be data right width. And this is data right. Then we don't need this stuff, which I believe means that, oh, we have the middle divisions. That's right, the divisions. Yes. X is equal to the divisions. If x is less than or equal to the middle x. So this is just the divisions, area.y, data division width, and y, which is just the height, area.height, data division. I believe that's what we want there. Cool, and so then we can get rid of that and x, which we don't use anymore, but we do use middle width. That is definitely useful. Okay, cool. So that simplified it quite a bit, right? Let's see if it compiles. Almost. Division count. Let's rename that. So we're using ints and uints. Middle width. Guess I could just make that be a uint. Same deal. Size division count. So it wants this to be size T. Does that compile? This may be an annoying question, but I read your channel description, and you are where I want to be someday. So I have very basic programming skills, and I'm currently doing a bachelor's in computer science. How and where can I learn to become a game dev? Just do it. I was where you are now once. Oh, hey Setzer, what's up, man? How's it going? Yeah, I used to, aspire to be a game dev. I was in school back in mid to late 2000s, and so indie game dev wasn't really a thing. Like my last year of college was when Super Meat Boy, no wait, did Super, no, maybe No, I had graduated already at that point. It was when like World of Goo came out and a few other games like that. Castle Crashers maybe was out at that point. Um, yeah, Machinarium. So just a few indie games were coming out. But anyways, I would recommend just putting in a lot of time and effort into it. You know, going online, looking around at stuff, trying to figure out what you want to do. It's a long journey, but so that should fix that stuff, right? Actually, this can be a size 2. Yeah, just yeah, I think the most important thing is putting the time into it. You have to invest a lot to become an indie game dev, or just a game dev, period. Okay, so I think we got that all working now. I can show you guys what I had working before, and then we'll try to add in a stat bar. So here's our UI. We've been working on UI, so I made it so like we can hover over this panel, and we have our little button here that I added in, and you can click on it and it creates this little thing. When you can't, it also disables the button. So yeah, just working on various UI elements, so that way we can use these things to build out, you know, much more complex UIs in the future. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, we also made it so that whenever you click and grab on the UI, it doesn't create elements or new entities. Let's jump back to debug mode, so that way if I want to break into anything, it can easily. So let's now add in a stat bar. And what we can actually do is, let's add in a stat bar, make it so that we are changing the value of the stat bar. So we'll add in something here. We'll say add relative. Let's put this at the top. Add a new bar. Say test bar. I don't know what are the other things that we need. I guess the width, right? So let's just say it's 100, make it easy on everyone. Percentage, that's its starting percentage. We could just say it's at 0.5. And then we want to say it's relative to the bottom of this button. So that looks good. And then what I want to do now, so let's, instead of doing that, let's make it so we have our bar. So let's actually pull that out. Bar. Then we can pass in bar here. We'll capture it. And let's just set the value to be, let's actually have it start at 0. So then, or maybe I'll have it start at 1. I don't have a way to get random numbers right now. Is there a way to get the value? I think so. Get. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know why I would really need to get set divisions. Oh, whoops. Needs to be a UNT. There we go. Yeah, I guess what I need to do is pass in the like float percentage is equal to. Hey, no problem. If you have follow-up questions or anything like that, I'm happy to provide more information. It's just whenever someone asks a very vague question, I have to kind of give a vague answer. But like I said, happy to help give you more info. Let's change this to percentage. And then let's capture percentage. Just say set it to percentage. And then we can take our percentage and add 0.1f to it. So that's an extra like 10%. That should be good. I need to now include bar. Hi, I suggest you limit your FPS. It's crazy right now. My hardware usually is melting under similar conditions. Hey, Corn. Yeah, I will likely do like some VSync. Yeah. Like that's what I did for Crea, is I made it so that it would VSync. Right now, I don't really care, but are you able to capture by reference? Is that like a thing? Okay, cool. Nice. Done. Yeah, for Crea, what I did is I made it so that you could cap the frame rate at 30, 60, or have it be unlimited if you wanted to just have like, you know, it running as fast as it possibly can on that one thread. And yeah, it will melt your CPU. Oh, whoops. I don't want to be disabling, but we also don't see our stat bar at all. So there's something wrong there. Yeah, but we don't want to disable it either. What's up with that? Why? I guess we'll just break into this and see what's going on. So it should be trying to render this stuff. Do we have any background vertices? Nope. Oh, I know why. It's because we did not set up those, the styling. Yes, that makes sense. We need to set these things up. Is Dig Day 1 a good starting point, or is it more for experienced people? So it's an okay starting point. It might be a little, it's probably advanced for someone who hasn't done any game dev stuff. You can check out like Handmade Hero as well, but I don't know if those types of videos are really good ways to learn how to do game development in general, because they are very long and drawn out. So like day one is 8 hours, and I probably have like it could be broken down into like 20 to 30 minutes of actual like good content, and the rest is just like, you know, me talking to people like this, or you know, debating on how I might want to implement something, because yeah, all these the VODs are very raw. So I would recommend just like, you know, maybe trying Unity or something. You said you're doing computer science, so I don't know what languages they have you learning in school, but you know, if they're doing, like, whenever I went to school, it was Java and C#. So if they're teaching you C#, that's awesome. Then you could use Unity and start playing around with that and just like doing a bunch of small little projects, you know, maybe do game jams or you know, recreate small games like Pong or Breakout or whatever. Just so you get that experience of like how games fit together. And Unity is in C# and it's also very easy, so yeah, that might be a good option. It helps you like get started. You can also check out lots of other game makers. There's tons out there. There's like Game Maker itself. I started with RPG Maker a long time ago. Godot, and yeah, there's like dozens of game makers out there. I don't think I'd recommend Dig to someone who's wanting to learn game development, period. This is more of like, here's how you create a game with a custom game engine. So the focus is on the game. Right now, a lot of it is just really game engine stuff. But yeah, so it's not like, it's, even whenever it's like, here's how you, it's not, here's how you create a game engine. It's, here's how you create a game engine for a specific game that I'm making. And someone who knows C++ can take what I'm doing and be able to like, you know, take it in different directions, make a different game with it or whatever. But yeah, so that's what I think about that. Okay, let's find these. We could just do experience or progress. What are those? Let's do progress. Progress percentage. Percentage. Oh, I think that's with divisions. Yeah. Do experience. We'll just do experience. The back data experience. What do we call this? We're calling this test bar. Let's call it experience. So that way we get this. Style map clear. Going to add in a new style map experience. And it's going to have this data. So this is our back data. And then we need to do the same with our middle data and the floor data. And we'll just update these. We are learning C++. Gotcha. Cool. That's nice that they're actually teaching you C++. Well, I mean, you're still more than welcome to, you know, learn Unity or something like that. You can also check out like SFML. They have some good tutorials. Here we go. This is actually a pretty good place to learn some C++ development if you want to do C++ dev. Okay, we'll say experience divisions is 10. We'll do something like that with the default value as well. So this is divisions default. We'll say 0. And then experience is 10. Oh, whoops. That's a mistake. There we go. What else? We need the... So that's back data, middle data, for data, divisions. We have change time and delayed change time, and also flip. So flip is false by default. That's an easy one. We have a flip up here, kind of. It's different, right? Kind of. Maybe it was the loop I'm thinking of. Default is false. Flip. There we go. What's this change time and delayed change time? .3 and 1.5. Change time. 0.3 is 300 milliseconds. And then this is delayed change time, which was 1.5 seconds. Oh, that's right. I actually have support for utility types. That's what it is. I have support to get a float double long. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, cool. So I could just say, like in this case, default. Oh, whoops. This could actually be 0.1 seconds. This could be 1.5 seconds. So that's pretty cool. I can just do that. Speed this up a bit. That looks right. Okay, cool. I think that should get it all set up so it can actually render now. Wah wah. I probably screwed up like the... I bet it's this. Yeah, some of the stuff is kind of picky in here where, let's say like the experience, if we go to our bar, we'll see like these all, why is it UN32T? These are all supposed to be UN32T values, and they're probably not. So I need to like make sure that they are. Like this, I don't know what that's going to actually end up being. We can look, types. Does it give us, it's a UN32. Oh, that's, okay, so that actually probably is right. It's probably the experience thing that was wrong. Where it's like giving us an int, but we actually want a unsigned value. Do we have vertices now? Aha, we do. So it looks like it might be working. Oh, there's our step bar. That doesn't work though. Wait, it is. It seems to be going slow though. What is going on here? I think it's way too slow. What's going on with that? It's like going like way too slow. Like probably, I don't even know. Okay, let's try this. Let's try 300 and 150 and see what it's doing. Oh, right, and then I run into that issue. Hahaha. Okay, let's do it this way instead. Let's break into here. And we'll see what the middle change time and the forward change times are. Yeah, why is that so large? This must be wrong. Okay, let's try this. U132T 300. 1500. That should work, hopefully. I don't see it moving. Oh, it seems like it's not actually updating the percent bar. It's like changing it. I don't think this actually gets changed. Oh, I'm returning false. Whoops. That's what's happening. We were telling it to only run once. Glad to see that's working. Nice. Looks a little weird. I think it's pulling. Yeah. Hey. That's obviously wrong. We should cap it at 1. Yeah, we should just cap it at 1. Or set percentage or set percentage. Yeah, we should just say the minimum value between percentage and 1.0f. So that way it can't go beyond. So we can see, I think it's doing the same thing that we had before. Yeah, I need to break this up. So basically the problem is that it's using some of this, like while it's blurring. Like I need to put an empty line there. I did that. Oh, this is not the same one. I did that in the other one. Well, I thought I did, but it looks like I didn't. Wait, so then are we running into that issue still? No, what the heck is happening? How is this not working? Oh, that's right, that's right, that's right. I forgot. I thought I put an empty line. I changed it. What I actually did is I have... This is the right one. Sorry. I forgot. I did that and then I changed it. So it has an extra line. So we only use this line right here, but it has like extra border around it. I think I could probably do the same over in here, where I can just... in here... think it needs to happen for the middle one. So yeah, I say it's 9 by 9, right? So it should be 8, and let's move it up by 1. And then I think it's just the same for all of these. Is that right? I think I might need to... That might work. We might need to subtract 1 more from the width and say it's 7. It doesn't hurt to do that. I don't think so. Yeah, it's just like basically it's bleeding with the bilinear filtering. Nice. Yep, looks good now. Beautiful. Why don't we have the divisions though? Oh, I totally forgot to draw the divisions. Aha, that's why. Divisions get drawn where? Divisions. They get drawn. I don't know where the divisions get drawn. Or they get added to that. Do we not have the division set up? Maybe that's what's going on. My best guess right now. Let's go into here. And I guess, yeah, we'll just set it there. Divisions is 9. All right, 0, 0, 25, 9. Oh, I think it's getting drawn behind everything. I think I need to put that up here. Wait. Oh. I think that's the problem. There they are. Nice. Looks good. Excellent. Beautiful. That is awesome. So let's see here. We did the stat bar, we did the text button or the button and bars, what we're calling them now. We did the panel. We fixed up a few other things. So that's what we did today. Next up, I think it's going to be trying to do like the paragraph and the edit label. The edit label is probably going to take a full day. Render element. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we made some really good progress today, I think. We accomplished what we set out to do. I'm going to go ahead and call it. Go eat some lunch and probably take a nap because I'm still just so tired. But yeah, good progress. Thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow. I think I'm going to do an earlier stream, but I'm not completely sure yet. So it might be a little earlier in the day or it might be later. We'll see. We'll see. Not sure. But thank you guys for joining. I hope you all have a good Friday and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.